Is this thing still on? Anybody home? Is my mic still nice? Stovepipe legs and knees and cankles. Come on, sing it like you know the song. Stovepipe legs and knees and cankles. Hey, you all. Welcome back. I know it's been a while, but y'all already know what it is. You see the title of this video. This is Real Housewives of Potomac. I didn't even jot down what season it was, but we're going to briefly discuss episodes 1 through 4. I'll probably mainly focus on the Chris situation, Robyn and her low-down scum self, and just some other things. I probably won't touch Wendy and Karen's storyline because right now it's just meh to me. So let's talk about Ashley's divorce. I don't have much to say here because I don't care. I tried to tell y'all a year or two ago that marriage was not permanent or semi-permanent. Honey, she got them kids. She got straight to the bag, and that's all it was, okay? I don't know why Ashley is running around here pretending to be distraught that Michael doesn't want to fight for their marriage. Honey, he's been embarrassed due to his own behavior. And yeah, he wants to be free. That's why he got a vasectomy, honey. He said, let me tell you something. I don't agree with Mia much. But when she said he doesn't want any illegitimate children running around, that's exactly it. That man is getting too old for children. How old is Michael? 80-something? At least that's how he looked. Okay? So, yeah, he don't want any more children. Talking about, he thought I was trying to get pregnant. Yes, he thought you were trying to get another bag. Michael said, I may look a fool and I may act a fool, but I am not a fool. Okay? So then let's move on to Mia's illness. So Mia doesn't have cancer, which is a blessing, but I do find it offensive to cancer survivors and warriors and to those who have passed on in their fight for someone to mock this and to put it on social media for a story. You don't have to post anything on social media if you don't want it. I don't care if you post your highlight reel. I think by now all of us should understand and know that social media is not really real. People are only going to post the highlight. They're only going to post the joke. Rarely do you get people who are posting if they're going through a tough time in life. And honestly, I don't even know if, social media is the space for that because so many people like to see when others aren't doing well. I don't know if I could be that vulnerable on social media, but to each his own. Mia is a liar and she's an attention seeker. That buttons that up. Very disgusting. Glad she doesn't have cancer, but it's wrong for you to portray as if you have been diagnosed with it. Moving on. Okay. Let's talk about Chris. So I'm going to tell you all this now. I am not resolute in how I feel because I've just been thinking more about this, not in terms of Potomac or reality TV, just in life in general. And I said it in my Beverly Hills video. A lot of people in the current climate we're in, it's all about how they feel. I feel A, B, C, and D. I felt X, Y, and Z. Well, it's my truth. It's my feelings. But your truth and your feelings have to be rooted in reality. If any of you all have done any type of investigation work or sat on an investigation committee, you know that you can't just go off of feelings. Don't tell me how you felt or how you feel. Tell me what happened. If you tell me, well, my coworker came to my office, said good morning, it made me feel uncomfortable. Okay, what happened? Has this person come to your office? Did they wink at you? Did they say something sexually suggestive? Have they made other comments? Did he try to grab you, touch you? What else? Is there a pattern there? What has gone on? Did he make a comment about a body part? Has he shared with you intimate personal information that he shouldn't be sharing? What is it that person did? You can't just tell me you felt a certain way and then expect people to take action. It has to be some evidence and some fact finding, period. with Giselle, and this is a fine line I'm walking, it's not to diminish her feelings, but in my opinion, I think Giselle is doing this for a storyline. And because I think she's doing this for a storyline, I think that she is making this up as she goes along. I actually don't believe that she felt any type of way. I think she saw an opportunity to have a storyline. I think that her and Ashley, and I also believe that Robyn and Karen are in on it as well, and maybe Mia. And I think they have decided to now turn the tables on Candace and Chris. Giselle has done this for the past few seasons. She attacks people's families. It was Monique. Actually, Karen and her husband were attacked by Giselle. Monique and her husband was attacked by Giselle, which is why I never understood why she attacked Candace. Gigi and Giselle were right there, and you jumped right on past them because you wanted something out of Giselle, and you decided to jump on someone that really didn't do nothing to you. If you're going to get fired for a reason. If you're going to be violent for a reason. Because I'm going to tell you now, if someone said my child wasn't my husband's, yeah, I'm going straight to them. I'm knocking on your doorstep. And Monique didn't do that. We saw that happen last season with Eddie and Wendy, right? They have these discussions. Potomac reminds me of Beverly Hills, where they ice out people purposely to try to get you out the show. And that is so annoying to me, because one thing I enjoyed about Atlanta is that they could go off on each other and you will hear them say, so-and-so is good for the show. So-and-so is good for the show. So-and-so brings it. I don't like her, but she brings it. I remember, I don't know if it was Carlos King, but someone said that the season with Claudia Jordan, when her and Nene went back and forth, Nene actually went to them and was like, that's your girl, not Demetra. That Claudia, she is who you need to be focusing on. She's the one who needs to be a housewife. Now, we do know Nene in the past has tried to get people fired, but I thought it was cool of her to be able to go back and forth and then still say, she the one bringing it. The other person you got lined up, ixnay on the Demetra A. So it's more organic that way. With Beverly Hills and Potomac, it's like they purposely try to get people's jobs taken away from them. They purposely say, I'm going to bully and torture you until you want to leave the show. And that, it doesn't have to be that way. It could be dramatic. It could be shocking. It could be fun without all of that. And Giselle, she's the leader of it. And I think Karen is somewhere being the leader of it as well. Absolutely. So when it comes to Chris, I think it's not a mistake that Ashley, Mia, and Giselle have complaints all of a sudden. So let's dig into it. Ashley says that Chris flew into her DMs. Ashley posted a story about her and her friend being at some restaurant, club, whatever. Chris is the general manager of the rooftop bar at the W. I can almost guarantee you that how he got the job and how he sold himself and negotiated is that my wife is a full-time cast member on Real Housewives of Potomac. I can get her and some of the cast to come here and have drinks, post pictures, tag you all, and that way we could drum up more publicity, promotion, marketing. Ashley, you and your friend ain't that cute or special to think that Chris was trying to lure you to a public place so that he could hit on you. I'm not saying it can't happen, because anything can happen, but that's not what he was trying to do. And for you to think in your mind, he slid into my DM. He did not slide anywhere. Not at all. He was trying to get y'all to come down there for a few photo ops. You tag the W, and then that makes other people want to come because they think that you ladies will be there. Then they think that maybe other Bravo celebrities or celebrities will be there in general. This whole thing about he was trying to flirt with you, by Ashley. Michael don't even want your ass. How about that? Y'all know I don't like Ashley. So if you an Ashley fan, this channel is not for you. I'm trying not to go there with Ashley, but y'all know, those of you who know, I don't see it for her or for Michael Darby, and not at all. Now, Giselle, So through a series of conversations over these episodes, Giselle basically says after last year's reunion, Chris and her went to talk in her hotel room. She thought that her glam squad was there, which automatically I knew Giselle was lying, because what glam squad? You in a one-on-one with a skunk on top of your head, and you have the audacity to say you have a glam squad. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I know you lying. Glam squad. For what? Because you look like you get dressed in the dark, sweetie. So please, you ain't got to lie to us. Ain't no damn glam squad. But apparently her glam squad had left, and it was just her and Chris. She felt uncomfortable because he's a married man. She's a single woman, but this is her castmate's husband, and he's complaining about Candace. Pause. Chris, if you did that, you deserve to be cussed out for 40 days and 40 nights. The best person to discuss your wife with is your wife, not her castmate. It will be equivalent to my husband going to one of my co-workers and complaining about our marriage. Absolutely not. You can pack your bags and you can leave. I don't play that. Absolutely no way. Now, because it's Giselle, I don't know if she's lying or telling truth, but it sounds like that's what you did, Chris, and you were out of line for that. And also, let me say this. Knowing what we know now, right, with all of these accusations coming out, if I were you, Chris, I would stay far away from them. I wouldn't interact. I wouldn't hug. And also, you need to minimize your drinking when you're on set. I've heard Chris say that he drinks a lot because he's nervous. Well, either you don't come around or you learn how to control your emotions. Because that alcohol don't help. It only revs things up. And they're going to use that against you. He was drunk and he came into my hotel room. Here's the problem. There are serious implications behind this. Accusing someone of what Giselle is trying to accuse him of, it is serious. It's not something you should play with. And she's playing, she's teetering on this line, and I don't like it. Just for a storyline, I don't like it at all. So she calls Chris a sneaky link. Giselle, stay inside your generation because you did not use that correctly. He's not a sneaky link. And then she says, I've had plenty of married men hit on me. And see, part of this also, Giselle has been told she's beautiful all her life, which physically, facially, she is a beautiful woman. But she's been told that so much that I think that maybe she believes that every man who's around her wants her and her swollen cankles, honey. And that's not the truth. It's not the truth. And she goes on to say, she accuses Chris of flirting and saying he was trying to see if she was with it. But when she tells the story to Karen, Karen asked her, did he touch you? Did you tell him you were uncomfortable? She asked very important questions because, as we know, Karen is a survivor of assault. So she's asked, like, what happened? Notice she didn't say how you felt. She asked her what happened. Did he do A, B, C, and D? And, you know, I don't know if I missed something out of an episode, but Giselle accused Robyn of bringing it to the group. Honey, you brought it to the group when you were sitting there in front of cameras telling Candace about what happened. And Candace, you did right to leave. And let me tell you why. What they want you to do, Candace, is they want you to go off and curse them out. See, this is the same game that Giselle played with Monique. Monique was just so stupid she fell for it and ended up attacking someone. And I mean, literally, Giselle and company could not have planned it better. It landed right in their hands. And you know, Giselle, when full out Karen had the bodyguard behind her and everything else, it fell right in her lap. She didn't even have to work for it. And that's what she was trying to do with Candace. Curse me out. Go off on me on social media so we can get you fired. And Giselle and Karen, and not Karen, excuse me. When Candace said, my husband, the one that has invited you over, he's cooked for you, he would lay his jacket over a puddle for you. This is the man you felt uncomfortable with. Giselle, 100%. Okay, well, I'm done with this conversation. Quite done. And when she went and got Eric, baby, Eric was working for that check that day. When she said, don't take out none of my fourth wall. This ain't Michael Darby. But yet, and she made a great point on camera. Michael Darby has been accused and it's been proven that he grabs people's behinds, specifically men's behinds, without permission and without consent. Unwanted touching. And Giselle has said several times, oh, I love Michael Darby. I really like Michael Darby, even though he's assaulted other men. You feel more comfortable with him than you do Chris. All right, we done with this conversation. Let me pack it up and go, because we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. You play with Michael Darby. Don't play with Chris. Come to me when you have something of value. So good for Candace for leaving because she wanted you to blow up and curse her and her wrinkled neck out. That's what she wanted. So good for you, Candace. Good for you for maturing and realizing when people are trying to press your buttons. Period. What else? What else did I want to cover about Chris? Mia telling Robyn that Chris was staring her down. Listen, production, y'all are earning your paychecks. These last few seasons of The Housewives, y'all have been cutting and going back and rewinding, and chef's kiss. Love it. Compliments to the chefs. You literally see Chris doing like this. Not looking at Mia. I was about to say something mean. Not looking at Mia or her friend. And literally not even paying her attention. The lies that Mia tell, this implication that they've come up with, or not implication, this accusation they're coming up with, it has serious implications and it's nasty and it's mean. And I don't like it. Like, to me, the reality TV girls are doing too much. You can have a good show without outright lying on people. And just like Karen said, why did you tell it on camera? How come you didn't go to her directly after the reunion, Giselle? Because you wanted this to be a story. And that's why I'm having a very difficult time with saying that how Giselle feels is valid, because I don't even believe that she feels that way. But that's me. We'll watch it play out. I could be wrong. I have no problem admitting it. But I got my good eye on Giselle. Moving on. Next, let's talk about Robyn Karen Dixon. Let's talk about how she uninvited Wendy and her children to Family Field Day, or whatever the hell it was called. So, I don't know if it was in one of the episodes or if it was a podcast I listened to. See, this is what happens when you wait to review stuff. Robyn said that she had every intention to invite everyone there at the dancing class, whatever it was that Ashley had. And when Wendy and her got into it, she basically was like, oh, hell with you, I'm not inviting you anymore. So technically, she uninvited Wendy, but Wendy didn't know she was invited in the first place. So the fact that you went out of your way to exclude her and her children, is your child on spring break? What about yours? What's Grace doing? Very tacky. Wendy had a interview with Carlos, and she was saying how Robyn said, I don't care about them kids. I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I believe that. I've always told y'all, Robyn is a mean girl. She just don't look like it. You know, she doesn't dress the part. Her hair ain't never done. Her outfits ain't never together. She's the mean girl on campus that she'll speak to you, but then she'll go back with Giselle and talk crap about you. Robyn is a mean girl to her core, and she's a low down, nasty piece of work. For you to, because when you uninvite Wendy, you're uninviting her kids, period. And I 100% believe she said she didn't care nothing about them kids, because if you go back and look at that scene, Robyn, they edited it, and you see Robyn saying, you can call me a horrible person. I don't care. Robyn said in her one-on-one that she's petty and don't care. I absolutely believe Wendy. I absolutely believe that Robyn sat there and said she didn't care about them kids, because she don't. And you got the nerve, Corey and Carter, named after Jay-Z. Let me not even go there. Let me stop myself before I go completely off the rails. Because one thing I don't like the mistreatment of children. They didn't do anything to you. You can dislike Wendy all you want to, but her children did nothing to you. You all are on a show. Those children will see or hear about it either way. That you as an adult didn't have enough emotional intelligence to control yourself and act in a responsible, mature way. You are a nasty piece of work, Robyn. And that's why your credit was bad. And that's why Juan's credit is still recovering. You're a nasty piece of work. And let me say this, like Wendy said, that's your low character. And I've never seen it for Robyn, but when you purposely try to hurt kids, I have nothing for you. I am not one of those people that believe children are collateral damage because you mad. No, completely out of line. What I believe happened is afterwards, Giselle pulled her to the side and whoever else and told her, you know that's not going to be a good look on camera, sis. You might want to try to cover that up. That's when we see the scene with Juan. I've come to a compromise. I'm going to ask Candace to play auntie and to pick Wendy's children up and bring them there because it's about the kids. Is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Well, what is it? What is it, Robyn? Because how do you come to a compromise without the other party's knowledge or consent? These are Wendy's children. How do you make the decision for someone else to come and pick them up and take them someplace? Are you crazy? The answer is yes. And then Juan, your funny looking self, sitting there telling me that's a great idea. Is it? You're telling me you will allow your children to go to someone's house knowing that they did not invite you? Absolutely not. I don't know any parent who would do that. Not one. And you sitting here, that's my how do you compromise and the other party wasn't a part of this compromise? And then how you gonna tell Candace to deliver the message? And you didn't have enough ovarian fortitude to call Wendy and ask her over the phone or face to face. Just disgusting. I'm good for Wendy for saying, hell no. And Candace, how dare you call and ask her? You should have told Robyn, I'm not your minion. I'm not your peasant. You call and ask her. Okay? That's what you do. I thought it was interesting in her one-on-one when Wendy's children didn't end up coming. She said, it's not about the kids. It's not about the shut up, Robyn. It absolutely is about the kids, which is why she didn't allow them to come. Okay? Because even if they would have come, I'm not saying Robyn would have done anything to them, but trust me, I know how people are. I've been a kid and I've gone to parties and overheard the adults talk about one of my parents before. I remember, and this is real life. I ain't gonna tell y'all the heavy stuff. I remember being a child and all of my friends, their parents believed in sleepovers. My parents were not having it. I didn't understand it at that time, but as a grown woman now, I completely understand it. My children will not be at sleepovers. I don't trust people and I don't trust their kids. You have children being abused at sleepovers. You have children that go missing at sleepovers. You have children where, y'all know the case where the black boy was forced to drink other kids' urine. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing if that was me. So my parents was like, no. And also nowadays, you have a lot of child psychologists that have come out and said, stop having sleepovers, stop having hotel sleepovers. Your children are in a vulnerable position that they cannot fight back. These child psychologists have told you all that, and y'all keep having sleepovers. It is the stupidest thing ever, but as an adult, I absolutely agree with no sleepovers. So when I had a friend who called me and was like, Canary, I'm having a birthday party. It's a sleepover. I already knew when she said sleepover. I said, oh no, Mama Canary ain't gonna allow this. So I told her, well, I had to check with my mom. I don't know if I can sleep over, but I'll ask. Her mother, who did not like my mother for no reason, says in the background, and I can hear her, she knew her daughter was on the phone with me. A grown woman says, I don't even know why you asked Canary. You know her mama ain't gonna let her come. Basically telling her to uninvite me. I did not tell my mom she said that because my mom is, let me tell you something, real classy woman. But when it comes to her family, she don't play. She from that Vashon. She will nuck if you buck. I didn't tell my mother until I was an adult. And my mother is still pissed off at me because she said I would have got on that phone. I would have ironed her out. And I know my mother would have. And matter of fact, she would have did it on the phone and she would have did it in person. That's how Mama Canary gets down. I know she would have. And that's why as a child, I was like, I'm not going to tell my mom because she's going to blow her lid. So that has happened, right? And I've heard there's other things. So no, you don't send your children into enemy territory. You protect your children. And Robyn, you're nasty. And I keep saying you're a nasty, vile piece of work. And you know you're wrong. And that's why you came up with that compromise to make yourself look better. And it actually made you look worse. Far worse than you already look. Good for Karen for holding her accountable and telling her she was wrong because no one else was going to, even Giselle. Ashley talks about Michael getting a vasectomy. Honey, I don't care, but listen, I don't agree with Mia ever. But in this case where she said Michael doesn't want any illegitimate children running around, she ain't lying. Michael said, listen, Ashley ain't gonna get me for another bag, and neither is any of these young women. Let me go ahead and wrap it up because I'm about to go to Vegas and I'm about to blow the sky up in Vegas, okay? Michael has plans for Vegas and he won't be stopped, okay? Ashley says that her and Michael are divorcing because he still wants threesomes and she doesn't. Listen, everybody's relationship is different. Everyone's marriage is different. But those of you with open relationships, and not all, because all relationships do not operate the same. And we also don't know everyone's business. But for those of you that have been public, how's that working for you? Because it seems like y'all be having more issues than the people who practice monogamy or just as many issues. Like you agree to this open relationship and then halfway through you want to skirt and change it up. Like that's not the way it works. Michael married you because he thought you was a freak. And he thought that he could have his way with you, them, her, him, and everyone else. And now you want to change the game and say, oh, I've had children, and you want to become Mother Teresa and you want to cover up. And no, ma'am, that's not why Michael married you. Okay. So let's just be honest. You married him for the bag or a few bags. He married you because you were young, wild, and exotic. And y'all deserve each other. That's it. No, he's not going to fight for this marriage. Why would he do that? He can finally be free and have sex all day and all night if he wants to with as many people as he wants to. Good riddance, Ashley, is what Michael said, okay? But yeah, how's that working? Like, you know, listen, me personally, I don't do anything that I can't continue. I know me. I'm not finna be up here turning tricks in bedrooms just to keep you around. But in this case, you know, Ashley needed the moolah, okay? So she did what she had to do. But okay, you know, good for you. I guess you got what you were looking for. You have 2 children. You know he's at least going to have to pay for something along that line. So good luck with that. Then Ashley divorce is leaked to the blogs and she's trying to figure out who leaked it. Ma'am, one of the 100 people that you told? You told everybody and their mama, literally. One of them leaked it. She's trying to call Michael, but baby Michael is in Vegas popping bottles and not thinking about you and your children. So I think that's it for me for Potomac. I didn't really touch on Karen because, you know, what does she have going on with Ray? She wants eye candy or whatever. I don't care. Then Wendy, she's trying to open up a business with Pita. What's going on with Onyé? Girl, I was going to order a candle. What was that, last season? I went on there and it said $45, $50. And I said, oh, bye. What does your candle do that Bath and Body Works won't? Like, I can get a Glade candle for way less than that. So just my opinion. I don't think going into the restaurant business is a bad idea, but I think also I would be careful going to business with Peter. Okay. But we'll see if this is real or if this is just a storyline. Because you know how the girls on Housewives do. One season they'll be an author, and then 2 seasons later you'll forget they even attempted to put out a book. You know how it works. But anyways, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you all thought. If there is nothing else, I'm going to try to squeeze in Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's try this. I think I got a little bit of time. I'm not going to be able to go back and rewatch anything. So let's see how this goes. If there's nothing else, I will see you all later. Bye.